We are providing only 2 articles here as a part of promotion. For remaining 80%, that is 6 to 8 articles, current affairs video and general studies complete videos, please subscribe to our complete package. 2. On Good Governance Day, Health Minister announces 4 new IT-based initiatives for citizen-centric health services. GS Paper 2, Welfare Schemes for Vulnerable Sections of the Population by the Centre and States. Kilkari, First Initiative. Kilkari is an audio-based mobile service that delivers weekly audio messages to families about pregnancy, childbirth and child care. Each pregnant woman and infant's mother, registered in Mother and Child Tracking System, MCTS, would receive weekly voice messages relevant to the stage of pregnancy or age of the infant. The 72 messages would reach the targeted beneficiaries from the 4th month of pregnancy until the child is 1 year old. On an average, the duration of each message is 2 minutes. Such messages will empower and educate women and parents to help create a better environment in maternal and child health. This service will be provided free to the beneficiaries. How this initiative is implemented. In the first phase of implementation, such messages would be sent to the pregnant women and infants' mothers in 6 states, in Jharkhand, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and HPDs of Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. They are being developed in Hindi, English and Odia languages in the first phase, to be later expanded to other languages to cover the entire country, and would benefit over 2 crore pregnant women and 2 crore infants annually. Note: MCTS is a web-enabled name-based system to monitor and ensure delivery of full spectrum of services to all pregnant women and children. Mobile Academy's second initiative. Mobile Academy has been developed through which about 9 million ASHAs, accredited social health activists, will be trained using mobile services. This will aid in enhancing their interpersonal skills. Once registered, ASHAs can access the 240-minute course via their mobile phones. They can then complete the standardized course at their convenience. Digital bookmarking technology enables ASHAs to complete the course at their own pace. The course is divided into 11 chapters, each containing 4 lessons. There is a quiz at the end of each chapter. ASHAs successfully completing the course by securing more than minimum prescribed marks will receive a certificate of completion from the government. Revised National TB Control Program, RNTCP, third initiative. A dedicated call center is being started to provide round-the-clock support for patient counseling and treatment support services. Under this initiative, callers can give a missed call or call to get complete support for diagnosis, treatment and support for the completion of treatment on the national toll-free number, the minister informed. This initiative is being started in the states of Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh and Delhi. M-Cessation, fourth initiative. This will be an IT-enabled tool to help tobacco users to quit tobacco. Built on a helpline concept, it will register beneficiaries on the basis of a missed call. The counseling would be done through a two-way SMS process. 2. What was the agenda for the WTO meeting in Nairobi? Why are developing and developed countries on opposite sides? What did India want? What did India get out of the talks? GS Paper 2, important international organizations and their mandate. What was the agenda for the WTO meeting in Nairobi? This was the 10th meeting of the Ministerial Conference, the highest decision-making body of the World Trade Organization, to take forward issues left unresolved in the last ministerial in Bali in 2013. The ministerial was to iron out differences in the rules of trade between nations, including on agriculture and food security. Why are developing and developed countries on opposite sides? Developing countries, including India, and least developing countries, LDCs, such as Ethiopia and Rwanda, were seeking an end to export subsidies given to farmers by developed countries, which, they said, gave these rich countries an edge in the global market. These subsidies were to be eliminated by 2013 under the 2005 Hong Kong Ministerial Agreement, but that did not happen. Instead, countries such as the US came up with new laws, US Farm Bill of 2014, to ensure that there would be no cut in export subsidies. Developing countries and LDCs also wanted special safeguards and changing of rules relating to public stockholding for food security. Public stockholding is, essentially, the food grain the government procures from farmers and stocks in its godowns. Besides, developed countries have called for the Doha round of negotiations of 2001 to be junked. It's on this one question that the battle lines had hardened. That is, should the development agenda of the Doha round of negotiations be continued, as the developing countries and LDCs have been demanding, or should it be junked? Further, developing countries contend that instead of taking measures to reform farm subsidies, developed nations rallied for the Trade Facilitation Agreement, agreed upon in the 2013 Bali Ministerial, that opens up markets in developing countries to their goods and services. What did India want? Apart from keeping the ongoing Doha round alive, India wanted to secure an agreement on Special Safeguard Measures, SSM, to protect farmers against import surges. SSM is a tool that allows developing countries to raise tariffs temporarily to deal with surges in agricultural imports or price falls. Developing and developed nations are at loggerheads over the trigger factor that allows a developing country to raise tariff on imports, and the level of tariff that can be imposed. It also wanted a permanent solution to public stockholding to ensure the continuation of its food subsidies for public distribution programs. India wants its public stockholding to be exempted from subsidy reduction deals under WTO norms, which say public stockholding must not exceed 10% of the value of food grains produced. India has been saying that the country must have the freedom to use its food reserves to feed its poor without the threat of violating any international obligations. The Bali Ministerial had agreed on a peace clause that would have allowed India to continue with its public stockholding until a permanent solution is reached. What did India get out of the talks? After hectic negotiations that lasted 5 days, the 162 member nations of WTO agreed on a Nairobi package. The package contains a series of 6 ministerial decisions on agriculture, cotton, and issues related to LDCs. These include a commitment to abolish export subsidies for farm exports. According to this, countries such as the US who use subsidies to support agriculture exports will have to eliminate them in a phased manner. while developed nations will have to remove export subsidies immediately, except on a handful of agriculture products. Developing countries will do so by 2018. Developing members will have the flexibility to cover marketing and transport costs for agriculture exports until the end of 2023, and the poorest and food importing countries would get additional time to cut export subsidies. This would mean that India will not be able to offer export subsidies for sugar or other items after 8 years. On public stock holding, no final decision was taken. But, like the minister said, India was at least able to hold on to the peace clause. Even on SSM for developing countries, there was no decision except a commitment to continue to negotiate the mechanism. The IT trade deal was also struck with members agreeing on eliminating tariffs on 201 information technology products valued at over $1.3 trillion per year. Approximately 65% of tariff lines will be fully eliminated by July 1, 2016. Most of the remaining tariff lines will be completely phased out in 4 stages over 3 years. This means that by 2019, almost all imports of IT products will be duty-free. The biggest setback for India and other developing countries and LDCs is that the Nairobi talks did not reaffirm the Doha Development Agenda, which was India's key demand.